back, everybody, to another wonderful episode of Banter on the Rocks. Got myself Tim here today and John, of course. And today is Monday, May 18th. And if this is your first time here, welcome to the show. And of course, everybody who tunes in each and every week, thank you for all that support. And make sure you hit that follow and subscribe button so you're here for each and every weekly drop. I think I butchered that first line. If you're new here, welcome to the show, of course. And on today's episode, we're going to be diving in to quite a few things, starting off with our banter takes, which is always a joyful time. Had a ton of fun with that last week. Summer movie bash, kind of like our movie game for summer hits coming up. We got NBA talk, MMA fight recap, the NFL schedule release, and of course, much, much more. And as always, we are bringing you real talk, honest reactions, and plenty of banter along the way. And all right, here we go as we get into it. As we do each and every week, we start with our banter drinks of the week, what we're sipping on, why we chose it, and how it's feeling ourselves for today's show. I'll get us started. I have Made West, of course. It feels like I am a broken record at this point with how good this stuff is. It is just my perfect anecdote for a wonderful, end of day drink, especially heading into this podcast. It's a great thing to sip on. Really contemplated trying to do something real quick with Taste Salud. I got a one of their new mango flavors, I believe. Maybe it's been around a minute. You might know better than I. But I believe it's like maybe one of their energy boosts or immunity packs. I forget. But mango looked pretty good. I'm going to try it tomorrow.
Nice. No, yeah. I've had a mango one. I know they came out with, I don't know if it is a mango, but it's like a mango with tajin type flavor. So a little bit of a spicy one. I want to look into that one. I don't think I've tried that one. But this week, still settling into the new place. You know, my studio, my home studio is still just a laptop, not my ideal setup. Don't have a mic arm like I normally do, holding it with my normal arm. But I'm just doing a regular tequila and squirt, something simple, keeping refreshing. It's been a little warm this past week. We're in SoCal, 805. Prayers up to all those in Simi right now affected by the fire. Hopefully people are staying safe. I know it's still getting a little bit bigger. A lot of sheltering still overnight. So, our thoughts are with Simi Valley. You know, we got family living in Simi. I think they're all safe at the moment. So let's hope it stays that way. And hopefully they can control this fire.
Yeah, absolutely. That grew super fast throughout the day today. It gets windy, dry, plus hot is, recipe for disaster. It's crazy how fast that can kind of turn. Hopefully they get a good, knockdown on it this evening. But paying close attention to that throughout the day today. When we were coming back from the store tonight, we're a little bit further south down here in LA, and the sunset was pure orange. We're getting those smoke clouds kind of over in the distance. So, seeing it all the way over here. But yeah, like John said, prayers to everybody in the Simi Valley area. Hope you're staying safe, evacuating, take all the stuff you can, beforehand, be prepared. Everybody always is these days in Southern California. Unfortunately, it's just a way of life these days. So
it is. Yeah. It's unfortunate to say, but it is that SoCal life. But we'll continue on and we'll go into our Wolfpack soccer check-in. There's still soccer going on. We're getting prepped for the World Cup. And we started the Wolfpack segment because Tim became a soccer fan in EPL following the Wolverhampton Wolves. But yeah, updates, Tim. Did you get a chance to watch their game I think it was yesterday, right? Or
It was yesterday. Played against Fulham. I actually, me and my brother-in-law Rob, guest of the show, the ladies went out to the hospital to visit a newborn baby, welcoming to the family. So they were out doing that. So leave the kiddos with the dads, and we threw up the not threw up literally. We put on the Wolves versus Fulham match, and we watched probably a solid 3/4 of it. Most of the action was there in the first half. Ended 1-1. Final game at Molyneux, and with a point, I believe, with that draw, that tie. So that was pretty
Yep.
sweet. We'll take that, especially against a really decent team with Fulham. I believe they're ranked
Mm-hmm.
10th or 11th in EPL
Yeah.
this season. So good squad. They played really well. A big thing that I was talking with Rob about is just the Wolves have kind of struggled with an attack this season. They
Yeah.
did have a nice goal from, I believe it was Mane that scored it. He's been, good this season. Unfortunately, I think we're going to lose a lot of these stud players,
Mm-hmm.
with the relegation, and hopefully we can rebuild and kind of work our way back up. But solid match overall. Defense prevailed, did a good job. But solid
Mm-hmm.
way to kind of end the season with, at Molyneux with home matches.
Yeah, no, it was a solid way to end. I think there's still one more game for them. Um, but yeah, not bad. Like I said, I think it's a good way. Hopefully, you guys could end with another either win or a loss before the regulation. Um, but still, like I said, I think they played pretty well.
Yeah.
For me, my team, uh, we played in the cup game against Man City, lost 1-0. Chelsea, um, disappointing, but also it's Man City. We haven't been playing the greatest this season. The goal for Man City, I was watching the first half. Uh, Beautiful, back kick into the goal.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, there was no way I think stopping that goal at all. So, tough loss, tough season for us. But rumor has it Xabi Alonso will be our next manager for the team. So I'm excited to see, or I think it was Xabi Alonso being our next manager. So if that's the case, I'm a little excited to see how our next season goes, and hopefully we make it back into Champions League or even um, Euro UEFA Cup play again.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, you are correct. Javi Alonso will start July 1st, 2026 as
Mhm.
Chelsea's new manager. Solid addition. Is this his
Yeah.
first time coaching?
No, he was. I think he was at Real Madrid this past year somewhere.
Okay.
Um, but no, he's been coaching for a few years. Has done well wherever he goes. So, like I said, I'm excited to have a coach that's been showing great signs of doing well.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's going to be good. Talented squad you guys have with Chelsea. So hopefully
Yeah.
just the addition of a solid manager will, kind of give you guys that final
Hmm.
push to get, back on top,
Yeah.
get, all of the bandwagon support, and EPL help off of um, uh, Arsenal. So, yeah, teams like Chelsea can come back up, and the
Yeah.
Wolves as well. Maybe
Yeah.
not for his 20th next year.
Yeah. Yeah. And Arsenal played today, got that 1-0 win. One win away from winning it all. They're playing away. This will be my take. They're gonna win it. I don't see them losing their last game. It's
Hmm.
away, but the team they're playing, I can't even remember who they're playing as of the top of my head right now. But isn't shouldn't be too much of a challenge. They should be able to win it easily. If they lose, they're losing the league. If they tie, I think they'll still lose it. I think Man City has the goal differential on them at the moment, so it's theirs to lose. I don't think they will. If they lose the league and if they lose the Champions League, Mikel Arrieta has to be just sacked and probably
Hmm.
banned from European soccer. I don't think any team would touch him after this disastrous fumble.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, if that's the way it goes, yeah, then it's the fumble of all fumbles. Time to move on. Time to make changes. It's just kind of the rotisserie of managing in all of sports. It's if you have the advantage, you somehow blow it up, or you have the squad that feels like you can kind of get it over the edge, and you still
Yeah.
don't complete it. Then yeah, writing's on the wall. Time to kind of start up with something new, and happens all too often.
Yeah.
What was the reason for Chelsea moving on from their previous manager? Was it just kind of much of the same? Good
Yeah,
squad.
I think yeah, just good squad, not having the performance, like I say, not even in the top five. I think we're last I saw was 8 or 9. So like I said,
Yeah,
it's not quality for us and where we should be based off the type of club we've always been. But like I
for
said,
sure.
it goes that way at times. Um, Tottenham, I think, had a tough weekend too. I think they tied. So they're still at risk, but it also looks like they may get saved.
Yes, yeah, it seems that way. West Ham had a pretty brutal loss, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
That kind of probably could have put them over the edge, but
Yeah.
yeah, no, they choked, couldn't get it done. Yeah, lost 3-1 against Newcastle.
Hmm.
Um, 2 points behind the Tottenham at this
Hmm.
point. I don't think the
Hmm.
way it sits now. They'll need kind of a miracle, right, heading into this last
Yeah.
match.
Yeah. It'll take a lot for them to get past regulation, but like I say, miracles happen. The last game of the season sometimes is very electrifying. Um, a lot could happen, so we'll sort of see what happens.
Yeah, looks like they got Leeds, then Spurs draw Chelsea, and then after that Everton. So they have two more matches to go. Haven't played out their match this week
Hmm.
yet. So
Yeah.
um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I want to see the Spurs get
Yeah.
relegated.
Well, I
The parity
think
would be good.
depending on it would be a great parody. Um, but yeah, no, like I said, we'll sort of see what this next week brings. And yeah, that's all I really got for soccer. Like I said, I think we're prepping for some World Cup. I think we
Yes,
got Rob to sign on. I think we just got to plan a date, to have our little World Cup segment, soccer talk, prep for that coming up mid June. I think we're going to try to get Bondo on as well, but I know his schedule's a little busier. But yeah, we'll get some more soccer talk and start talking more World Cup.
for sure. Yeah, nope. Sounds like those guys are willing to join. Bondo, of course, always so humble with his
Yes.
ball knowledge. When I constantly have to remind him, he could not watch for an entire decade and still keep up at our nine. So
Yeah.
he's gonna fit in just fine.
Yeah, he'll do good. Um, but yeah, that's the Wolfpack check in, and we'll go into our banter takes. So our banter takes are our hottest takes of the week. For these takes, we don't prep each other. We don't share the takes with each other until right now, live. Um, and we're not going to pull any of the punches. We're going to sort of defend our takes. We'll debate them, agree with some of them, disagree, real time reactions. So we'll get into it. Tim sending me my takes. I'm going to send Tim his takes. And my first one, fajitas being delivered to your table on a sizzling platter is more embarrassing than birthday celebrations in a public restaurant.
Wow.
Eh, you know, I'm reading it again. Fajitas being delivered to your table on a sizzling. I, it could be very embarrassing because the way it sizzles and the way they bring it always with the oven mitt, it's like you
Yep.
can't even touch your plate,
Yep.
and sometimes it's still cooking. um i I will be honest, I don't see many people ordering fajitas the way probably it was about 10 years ago. I
Hmm.
think when fajitas and the cast iron little grill skillet, whatever they call it, that was like a big trend so many years ago. I remember going to places and I ordered it a few times just because I was like, everybody's doing it, might as well do it. But nowadays, it's not really the trend. You know, I think if you start ordering, people may start questioning, like, hey, why don't you just order tacos, steak, and just cut it up and not have it sizzling? Um, would I rather say it's my birthday when it isn't my birthday just to get a free cupcake or a churro ice cream? I think I might possibly do that, even though that was always embarrassing where they come out saying some places put, I think when you go to Mexican restaurants, a lot of the ones I've gone to always put a big old sombrero on you.
Yep.
I'm a lot better with that nowadays compared to probably back in the days and the fajitas.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, completely agree with you. Great take, John. I think that, when it comes to the sizzling fajita platters, it's a big part of it is who's at your table. And do you have hype people at your table where like, it's everybody sitting down, and then all out comes that sizzling platter. This is how it was in my family growing up.
Yeah.
Just very, very traditional. We'll put it American traditional, where they come out with that sizzling platter and they're like, "Oh, I know whose that is. Who ordered the fajitas?" and then it turns into your pitch red, and you're like, "Oh shit!" Like I just had to get the fajitas, and it's making all this noise, and everybody's paying attention to it, and then they come and deliver it, and then everybody's like, wow, that looks good. And then it just turns into this big old fiasco. And it's like, damn, over some sizzling fajitas. We're going to get this hyped. And, everybody's looking and everybody's like, oh, what kind of fajitas did he get? Whereas, birthdays, I feel like birthdays nowadays, it's kind of changed where like, yeah, sometimes sombrero, you go to, we have a local sushi tip-on spot, Chocho-san, that, they do like the hat. Yeah. And, that's always kind of fun. But, I feel like when everybody sings happy birthday and everybody's, they go, hi, 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 at Chocho-san, and they all get hyped, or, they do the happy birthday song. The whole crew comes out. But see, I feel like if I'm at another table, I'm not really turning around and watching the birthday stuff anymore. I'm just like singing, looking at my menu, like, yeah, happy birthday, try to get the kids a little hyped with it. And then, that's it. And then the people are always laughing, have a good time. I just think it's when the spectacle is on the food, especially if I'm getting like a jumbo sizzling platter of something. Not that I do that. Really, I'm one that opts out and does not go for that embarrassment, and just nothing against fajitas. They're great, but yeah, I think I'm just tortured by wow, I know whose that is, and it's sizzling from the corner. That's gets me every time.
It is a show in itself. Like I've seen like videos of people prepping fajitas and how like they have to bring it out quickly. It's like they're really setting up like a little guard for you, for the waiter or whoever's delivering it, the busboy, the runner, to make it to your table. Because like I say, if you wait too long, it's not sizzling. And if you pay for sizzling fajitas, it better sizzle. If there's not enough sizzles goes away too quickly, I don't know. You might have to ask for a refund.
Agreed. Yeah, the entertainment factor is gone. And then what I found out maybe about 3-4 years ago is the sizzling part is a total gimmick. It's a lie. Yeah. They spray water on it, and then that's the sizzle. It's not like a sizzle of the oils or the hot. No. You're sizzling up the veggies on there. No, they spray water on it. Just a travesty in the entire dish altogether. That sucks. That really sucks. That's probably the cherry on top of the scenarios. You're getting hyped up for just sizzling water.
Sizzling water. That's what I'm saying. I think a lot of people realized what it was, and nowadays, like I say, ordering it, I think it's a lot more embarrassing because it's like you say, you're just ordering sizzling water. The food's been cooked probably already for 20 minutes, waiting for everything to cook, and then waiting for the pot or the little skillet to get really warm, and just throw some water on it, some ice, and then it waters down your food. How's that affect the flavor of the meat, the veggies? I think it probably does a bit.
That's it. Absolutely. John, have you ever worked at a restaurant or anywhere when you were younger that you had to do like some type of birthday dance?
Chuck E. Cheese.
You wear the costume?
I wear, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a rite of passage. I
appreciate that. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's
a rite of passage.
Rite of passage. That's right.
Yeah, no, it was a spectacle in itself doing that. How I did that without being embarrassed, I do not know. But I will say the tips back in the day, I don't know how they tip nowadays, but tips back in the day for those Chuck E. Cheese parties, man, solid. They were pretty good. They were solid.
Yeah. I know Fat Boy talks about it sometimes back in the day, and he was like, yeah, dude, some people would come up, tip $100, to give extra tickets or something like that. If their kid went a little bit more, it's like, yeah, dude. Makes sense.
That's why they took the tickets away, because of Fat Boy. So it's all card.
That's why it's all card based. Blame him. Yeah. You, you would take tips and just break the machine or freaking bring out a wad of tickets. Oh man. Yeah, what a gimmick that is, huh? But no, it's I because I'm thinking about it and I came across I think it was a Mad TV skit with Keegan Michael Key and he's like scooping ice cream and they keep telling, the kid like, "Oh, don't tip me. Don't do it
Oh,
because like if he has to tip,
and
he has to sing."
then Bobby Lee does it.
Yeah, Bobby Lee.
Uh,
Yes, dude, busting up laughing watching that this
uh,
past weekend because
uh,
it's such a classic. And then he has to sing, and it just
yeah.
made me think of this whole scenario of like birthdays, fajitas. It's like what songs, that you have to be a
Yeah.
part of that might be a little far
Yeah.
fetched for a birthday song.
I will say I think it's a little harder when it's like you're a server and it's not really something you signed up for, but
Yep.
it's like what you have to do because of people saying it's their birthdays. Because like I say, with Chuck E. Cheese, I was always okay with it because I knew that was part of the job. It was part of the party.
Yep.
But it's like if they would tell me like, hey, I'm doing something different. Hey, we need you to come to the table and sing happy birthday. I'd be like, hell no, that's not what I want to do.
Exactly. At least you get to be in the costume, kind of hide it a bit.
Yeah.
It's that's got to help a little bit there.
Mm-hmm.
And then, kind of parting into this, I've thought a lot about because we've been to Disneyland quite a bit so far this year,
Mm-hmm.
and I think about some of these characters that sign autographs, and some can, some can't, and I think about how long it takes them to perfect the signatures when they're in full costume, gripping a pen like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you did that to me, trying to like look down at the book, be entertaining about it and casual, and then have that
Mm-hmm.
bulky ass glove on, um, dude, good luck if I get anything on the paper. Like it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be real bad.
Yeah.
So I give my props to any entertainment factor personnel, restaurant
Mm-hmm.
restaurant workers that can put on a show and sing and
Yeah.
make somebody's day happy, embarrassing. Maybe they're just doing it for the free cake. um
Maybe.
Solid stuff. You guys
Yeah.
are great and bring a lot of fun um
Yeah.
to those few
Yeah.
select restaurants now.
They do. They do. It still happens a lot. But yeah, fajitas, like I say, you order them. Try not to order them, while it's busy. Maybe when it's slow. Don't put that attention on yourself. I think a lot of us Hispanics probably don't order it much now because we know what it is, and it's like it's
Yep.
not really authentic, Hispanic food. It's just a show.
Yep.
You know, if it doesn't have some grease, oil coming off of that skillet, it ain't for me.
Imagine like having lunch by yourself. You order the fajitas and they're coming out sizzling, and you're just all hyped about it. That'd be great. So we
There's
should
probably
make a
someone
video
there.
like that.
A few people. Yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah. You start clapping like, yeah, they're
Yeah,
here.
I know whose that is. All right, got my take here from John. All right, the best sports video games were made 15 years ago. Nowadays, it's about spending money on packs. Completely agree with this because it's become super relevant lately, at least in my life. I got MLB The Show 26. They had a really fat discount on it a couple weeks back. I think I got it for like 50% off, and it's still kind of a new game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, hell yeah. Because the last MLB The Show I bought, I think was like 2021, which was solid. And I've been playing that, here and there.
Yeah.
But this one's great, updated rosters, things like that. But I was looking at it, and I had already kind of seen things about it where the graphics of it all, terrible. Like you're getting better graphics in MLB The Show 16 than you are in 26. And, I wish I could say that instead of graphics, they were putting their time towards, the gameplay of it. No, absolutely not. They are not doing that whatsoever. It's like some of the stuff, the miscues, can be pretty blatant, crazy looking. And then you're just left with like a very generic looking character that you probably could have gotten back in 2009. And I come to find myself spent like no lie here. I know I'm in my mid 30s. I spent a whopping $4.99 on Stubs the other day to get better equipment for my make a player, and
Yeah.
worth it. Got a couple diamonds out of it. But it's like, dude, if
Okay.
I'm finding myself, I mean, that's $4.99 back in their fucking pocket. Excuse my French,
Hmm.
but it's like it's what I got to play right now. There's not much else that's real great at the
Yeah.
moment until GTA comes out, which I think we're nearing the finish line on that one. And I just kind of find myself like, that's the way you got to do it. If not, like,
Mhm.
you're getting an equipment pack every 10 days. It's usually trash when you get it. And it's kind of lame. Like, it feels like too much of your character relies on good equipment at first in order to kind of build
Mhm.
yourself up the ranks and kind of get good. Or else your player's just going to be cheeks, unless you play
Yeah.
like 24/7. But I ain't got time for that. I want a player to be good now and kind of succeed. So found myself doing that, and it goes hand in hand with the take. And I know that's how 2K is. You got to buy
Mhm.
packs in I don't know what they call it, stubs or 2K points, coins, whatever.
Mhm.
And you use that to kind of up the attributes of your player, get better street
Mhm.
wear, accessories, things like that. And it's really the only way to rank yourself up. FIFA, same thing. Buy packs, do the ultimate team. Open up those packs, see what you can get. It's fun in the moment, but when you don't pull anything and you're like, fuck, I spent
Mhm.
$20 for nothing. And it's like,
Yeah.
you're not going to use those. Like, at least
Mhm.
if you go out to Target and buy a pack of cards, you could get some type of return value in that and use it later.
Yeah.
Like, but you're with these video games, you're not really getting that. It's either hit or miss right away.
Mhm.
And yeah, it just seems like they're focused on that. It's all money grabs. And if, the focus is there versus the gameplay itself.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's where it goes. Like I say, I was thinking about it, looking at the video games, because like I say, I'm like, now that I'm settling in, I'm like, I gotta get back into my gaming. Get on it on the weeknights with you guys. Doing some Battlefield. But I always like playing sports games, and I'm like, man, all the sports games nowadays are just so boring. I'm just not interested, and I'm like,
Yep.
what it was back then, with not worrying about having to buy for like 2K, having to buy the Jordans, and having to pay real money to get fake Jordans in a game for your character. Or it was pretty much everything was unlocked except some special ones that you had to complete some challenges, but I never had to pay money, and also just the games. I think the gameplay was a lot more focused on back in the day, and even the games that they created, NFL Blitz, NBA Street, those games, man, you can still play.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a PlayStation and it still works and you play that, that's fun.
It is for sure. NFL Street is a game that I really wish that they would remaster. And FIFA Street, NBA Street, any of
Yeah.
the street games,
Yeah.
those were badass, dude. Those were so much fun. I used to play it with buddies. I think back then we were actually playing it on GameCube a lot, if I remember
Hmm.
correctly. I think that was a pretty popular device to have it on, and it was just a ton of fun. Like,
Yeah.
the gameplay, it was focused on that. You didn't have to go buy packs. It was just customizable teams. You do like a fantasy draft, right, to build your
Yeah.
team and kind of build it up. That's what made backyard baseball fun way
Oh
back
yeah,
in the
that
day
was
on
fun.
PC. You select
Yeah.
your team and try to run with it. You didn't have to buy anything and to unlock a character. You
Hmm.
just had them all,
Yeah.
and you could play for hours. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
games have so drastically changed. Like, everything, unlock this. We go back to Call of Duty. It's the same exact
Hmm.
way. I think Battlefield, to an extent, kind of like that, unless you're,
Hmm.
you know, we're both dads. We work full time. We do this as much as we can in between, and then when we can
Hmm.
game, we would just want to have everything right away. Like, we ain't got time for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. I
We
don't
want that
got
shit
time to
now.
grind.
No, no,
uh,
absolutely not. So it's like, man. And then if you don't have those things, everybody else has the quote unquote meta, and you're just gonna
hmm.
get freaking clowned on for 2 hours straight. And then, like, what fun is that? But if you play with
Yeah.
your buddies, you can make fun out of it. And you know, Battlefield kind of works a little bit better because you have bigger teams to kind of separate it, and you aren't
Hmm.
so focused on. But that's where Call of Duty went downhill. Is like, for the people that work full time, like, versus the no lifes, it's like, dude, it's all bad.
Yeah.
It's there's such a big discrepancy with it. And yeah, if you don't focus and have it, you're just going to be screwed over while you play. So
Yeah.
yep, I hope there is some change to a lot of it. One game that I feel like the grind is worth it and the grind will be fun will be GTA. I feel like we
Hmm.
all as a group had a ton of fun with GTA 5 and, you know, buying, businesses in the game, doing the missions together.
Hmm.
There's iconic moments like when I back up the truck into a gas pump and we have to re-drive it all over again, 5 miles in a slow
Yeah.
ass truck. Good times, stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least you can have fun with it because there's endless possibilities. But when you're on a strategy game or
Hmm.
you're playing 1v1 and 2K, it's like, dude, that's gonna be brutal if you don't have everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I think sports games need to get better, and they need to focus on the gameplay, not so much on how they're making money. Because like even like NCAA, when that came out, that was a lot of hype because we didn't have it for so many years, and
Yep.
then it got released, and the first release was clean, but the second one, the one the newest one, I heard it wasn't even that big of a hit because it was all pretty much the same. Nothing really improved
Yep.
from the newer one. So it's something I think hopefully sports video games get a little better, but I don't know. I think it's always a cash grab. 2K, all that stuff, always been a big cash grab.
It is, and in like a big reason why I kept playing, like MLB the Show for years and years was it was good enough, and then like I'm comparing it to the clips of the new games, like it's like, dude, it's on par with it. The only thing I'm missing out on is new players and stuff. So it feels like
Hmm.
you're paying $70 for a roster update. That's all you're
Yeah,
getting.
that's all you're.
The rest, of course, they're going to have their hype people, like any game would, and
Hmm.
trying to boost it up. But it's because they get free points and can rank up and have the time to do
Hmm.
that. But yeah, it's far less enjoyable these days. I think the next kind of sports games I'll be excited for is the release of like NCAA basketball, which is rumored
Hmm.
hopefully in the next year or two. I hope they bring back NCAA baseball. I think that would be a
Yeah.
ton of fun as well. But just, dude, go back to the basics. Like, not we're already paying an
Hmm.
extraordinary amount of money to like play the game in the first place. Like, don't
Yeah.
stop with all these add-ons. We're good.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully, there's a lot of changes within the sports realm, video games. You mentioned GTA a bit.
Mhm.
It seems like it's getting closer to a release. Do you believe all this release info, all the news?
I don't want to get my hopes up too much, John. We've been so disappointed the last 3 or 4 delays,
Yeah.
however many it is at this point. November couldn't come soon enough. We're only 6 months away now,
Hmm.
and just to think that we could have had this game like for
Already.
a couple weeks, few months already, depending on
Hmm.
the release date you want to choose. It's brutal to think about, but for some reason I still like the hype is kind of coming back in my mind because I'm seeing more clips about it now.
Hmm.
I'm seeing these articles that the date is set. They're going to have that pre-order release, which I
Hmm.
think occurred today, if I'm not mistaken.
I
I
think
think that
so.
there was a pre-order for it. I don't see, I think we only know one person in our lives, Fat Boy, that would pre-order, but he's not a GTA guy, so I don't know if he's going to
Well,
pre-order it.
well, he's a GTA guy, but not an online GTA guy.
That's
So
it.
you know,
That's it. He was stuck on create a character for like an hour. I won't live
he
that
gave
down.
a. Oh, he hated that, but,
That's
but
so
we
funny.
knew once he could have gotten through that, bought whatever. I think we all bought nightclubs. Once he would have gotten through that, he would have enjoyed it if he
Oh, no
stuck
doubt.
with it.
No doubt. No doubt. And that's another thing too, is I know that, we kind of ran 4 people. And I think
Hmm.
that's what a lot of those missions were up to. I think was 4 people, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. I wonder if they up that a bit. I wonder if you can maybe have a little bit more additions to squads,
Hmm.
should you have, bigger gang size, whatever. I'm interested in that because I think a lot of
Yeah.
us will play it at first. So, dude, the hype around that game, I think that will be one that we all play pretty
Hmm.
consistently, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
And that's when I think banter streaming will come back. I
Yeah.
still got my capture card. Got to get that bad boy revved up because I'm
Yeah.
gonna be glued to that shit. That's gonna be so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. When I was packing up, I had that all set up, and I have it all in a box. So it's like once I get my setup here ready, I'm
Yep.
gonna connect it again and start practicing because I'm also gonna use it for just live streaming our show. On Monday recordings to multiple platforms is the
Smart.
goal. So right now we're just on TikTok live, but we're hoping to expand to Twitch, YouTube, other live
Yep.
streaming services for your guys' entertainment.
Insta. Maybe Insta
Yeah,
we could get going
maybe.
too.
Yeah.
Um, would be great. But yeah, super hyped for that. Do you believe the hype?
Uh, just like you, I don't want to be disappointed, but I think if Best Buy is already having it out there and they're
Mm-hmm.
already doing pre-orders, I think it's actual real data, real
Yep.
info.
Do you think you could find yourself buying like a site like I don't know how many tiers to the game there's going to be, or do you think you're going to be a base model guy? Do you think you'll try to go for that? I don't know if they're going to call it shark cards to get more money right off the
Yeah,
bat.
who knows?
I got to see the options.
Um, I gotta see the options and I gotta see the price because I didn't see the prices on that post that or the video Fidel sent, but like I say, rumor has it just base model is already going to be probably close to $100 from the rumors I heard a while ago.
Yeah, I think they lowered it to 79.
Okay,
Oh, and it did go live yesterday.
okay. Does
Um,
does it have different tiers?
let's see. Oh, you can get the base model for £69. This is in England. So what does that convert to? Probably $79 US is my guess. If that's the conversion rate these days.
It's like
I
79. It's like 10 more.
Yeah, 10 more. I mean, I'm probably going to be a base price guy, but I will overview everything if it's like if it's I also have to see the price of the shark cards. I got to kind of do the math. If it's
Hmm.
like I'm going to get 10 million for the price of 1 million if I just pay, that to $89 or something,
Yeah.
sure, maybe I'll throw an extra $20 at it. It'd be worth it cuz I'm not spending a whole lot of money on video games these days. So, it's kind of just
Hmm.
leftover moolah at that point, right?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is it? What is it?
I think.
Like girl math with purchasing things? Like you
Yeah.
buy something, return it. Oh, now I have
Hmm.
free money.
Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like that for us. If you
Yeah.
haven't bought a video game in the last few months, you could buy two. You could spend double.
Yep.
I think I told myself I'd probably be at like that $100 price mark max, maybe like 110. But I gotta see what comes with that type of package because, like I said, has to be worth it. If it's gonna help the beginning grinding a little bit, make it easier to just upgrade a lot of things. It might be worth it, and you know, I. I've been thinking about this, and like I said, I'm curious what others think. Or you, Tim? I may not be a full in online day one because I'm curious of like what businesses and how you're gonna grind. Because, like I say, with the last one, we started with a nightclub. I enjoyed that nightclub club path. The other paths, I don't know if I would have been as successful or if I would have been as interested. And like I say, you're putting so much time, so much money into it. It's like I gotta make sure I'm happy with my investment of time.
Yes. Yes. So you think you're going to be a bit more of a study first person? Is what you're saying? Like
Yeah,
try to.
maybe about a week because, like I said, there's no lifers. Sorry to call you guys that, but those gamers that are going to be on it for 24 hours for the first week, and they're going to give us like all the scoops, all the inside info on what to do, what's the quickest way to get your money and upgrade to get the oppressor. You get the
Mhm.
oppressor, you're pretty much OP'd on the game. It's like, all right,
Yep.
what's my quickest route to get an oppressor?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you get the oppressor, then they nerf that, then it's like, okay, how am I going to get that jet? because that was what
Yeah.
was next. And you
Yeah.
can go ghost mode on that bad boy.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so worth it. Yeah, that jet was
Yeah.
great too. Yeah, that's a good way to play it. I think you study up first 48 hours,
Mm-hmm.
get a good understanding. It's probably going to get released on a weekday anyway, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
you could have those days to kind of learn a bit and then
Yeah.
get ready for the weekend. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm with you. Maybe spend it on story
Yeah.
mode instead, play that out a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So worth it.
Learn the buttons, learn the cars, learn the city,
Yep.
before you just jump into a lot of unknown.
That's right. That's right. Maybe work on just getting your bank up in other ways.
Mhm.
Possibilities are endless, John.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
I think I look most forward to. But
Yeah.
yeah, let's let. I have to go back. There's this one content creator on TikTok that was he would do like a weekly rundown
Yeah.
of all of the here's the casino car
Yeah.
this week. Here are the missions that are paying out the most. Here's how you get this and that. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, I got to refollow that guy. Or
Yeah.
I'm sure I still follow him, but
Yeah.
I just got to link back into
Yeah.
his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Casinos. I think a casino's going to be back. If they don't have a casino, it's a dissatisfaction service to
Yeah.
the gamers. But I will be dropping a few 100,000 the first day in the casino, just like on Black. I'm just gonna go crazy.
Easy money. Easy money. You got to do that. And then they should really think about doing like sports bets. Like
Hmm.
having other sports besides just horse racing. I hope they do something like that because that'd be
That'd be
badass.
cool.
Horse
That'd be cool.
races, I've made some decent money off of in
Yeah.
GTA 5. So probably catch me there because I won more there than like the slots. So
Yeah.
yeah, man, it's like Second
Yeah.
Life.
It is, man. Like I say, my car collection. I now I just want to log back in and go see my cars, drive them all,
Yeah,
mess around with them because I created a lot of cars. I think I spent a lot of the money I made at my nightclub and missions on cars.
same. Yeah, I put them all in that little corporate office thing. I
Yeah.
had like 3 levels of it.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It was like
Yeah.
dream money car life right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good stuff.
But that's a little bit about video games.
I got one more for you.
Okay. My next take.
Let me turn this bad boy over real quick. Sorry. Come on. Of course, it doesn't want to work. You know what? Let me read it out loud.
Okay.
Actually, no. Nope. We got it. Sorry. Perfect.
All right. The Monopoly Man is the trend of all because pocket watches and monocles are back. Yeah, man.
It's the biggest trend of all. My bad.
Yeah, the biggest trend of all. It is because this last little drop with Swatch, was it? It's Swatch,
Yep.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Saw the videos. At first, I was like, "What is Swatch actually selling that people are going this crazy for?" Because it's Swatch. It's not a Rolex. It's not some of these like high end watches. It's a Swatch. I think you were able to get Swatches for probably like less than $100. But man, the lines, how everybody's like fighting for them. Pocket watches are gonna be a thing. I've always liked the look of them. Just for fun. I think when you go out to a nice fancy event, it's always nice to have a pocket watch if you're not wearing a watch. Having that little gold chain. It reminds me of back in our days, Tim's in elementary and middle, or I would say probably more middle school. The wallet with the chain. You always had it before the school started banning them, not letting us take them anymore. These school systems, for some reason, that was their biggest concern. But yeah, it is a big trend. Probably going to be the top Halloween costume of the year. Monopoly Man with all these Swatch collab pocket watches and monocles. Yeah, the way these trends work, I don't get it at times. I saw a few of them look cool, wouldn't spend that much time or that many days waiting for one of. I don't know about you though, Tim.
Yeah, these swatches, I don't really get it either. Like I'd rather just like try to go out and buy like a pure gold one and like just be a
Hmm.
classic, like that's what I think
Hmm.
of a pocket watch, John. I think of like, gold chain, silver chain
Yeah.
out of it, like you're saying with the wallets, and then, having it be full metal. These are just, they have a lot more color and pop to them. But in my opinion, they just look a little cheaper depending on the color you get. I know probably some will be worth more than
Hmm.
others, but like, man, people are pushing and
Hmm.
shoving. I saw a video of a guy that was, he dressed up as a security guard to kind of work his way through.
Oh no.
It was
Genius right there.
very genius. Yes. Super entertaining to watch because he tried to act like he knew what he was doing, where he was supposed to go. And then he started just like running with the people once the doors open. Everybody was probably fooled. It was so good though. Really enjoyed that. But I saw the line, at Topanga Mall, big mall here in the Valley, San Fernando
Oh.
Valley of LA. Like people were like lawn chairing it, around the block at all hours of the night, the day before the drop. And man, like I know that Swatch and Piguet, right, is a
Hmm.
it's a very well known brand. Each of them, they're expensive. They do
Hmm.
very good work with their watches. They have a lot of sought after designs, but if I'm not mistaken, the Swatch brand itself is known as being more affordable, right? Like,
Hmm.
quite a bit of it. I think it's the Piguet collab that
Hmm.
kind of makes it a little bit more pricey. Um, but they're not even doing this for a traditional wristwatch, which I think comes out at a later date, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
So that drop's probably going to be insane if that's what this was for just freaking pocket watch.
Yeah.
Monopoly Man, like, between the monocle, I'm sure he's got some type of wrist pocket watch action going on. Like yeah, dress up for Halloween, the next big party you got, weddings. This is going to be the attire to
Hmm.
have. And then going along
Yeah.
with this too, John, Jen showed me a video today. I guess like the resale value, just
Hmm.
even to today, has dropped like 75%. I think it went from
Probably.
over 4 Gs the first day,
Hmm.
and I guess people are now being able to buy them for like $1,200 a pop.
Yeah. Probably.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like reselling in general is crazy, and I think I have a few questions for you, but also a
Yep.
thought. Because while you were talking about it, and with Piguet sort of collabing,
Mhm.
I don't know why I thought this, and I might be totally wrong, not even accurate, but I'm gonna say it. Um, I feel like Piguet's main holders bought so much stock in Swatch, and they made this collab, and then they're gonna sell the stock once it builds because their Swatch, in Wall Street right now is climbing because of this, the popularity. And once it reaches a peak that they're happy with, they're gonna unload all of this and make bank and sort of bankrupt either Swatch, or they're gonna buy out Swatch. I feel like there's some collusion to this because why Swatch out of all companies? Like I say, you know,
Yeah.
Swatch is affordable. Why not Fossil? I used to buy Fossil watches. Why not
Citizen.
a Citizen? A more luxury brand. Matching you. A mid or a lower end luxury to the high end luxury, whereas Swatch is like an everyday people type of watch. You know, why Swatch? And I don't know why I thought that right now while you were talking. I was like, they're behind something. I'm like, they're driving the price up of this stock, and they're gonna sell once it's at its peak, and then Swatch is just gonna go bankrupt because, like I say, it's already the resale value for this is already dropping.
Absolutely. I think you're exactly right. I'm looking at their stock price right now. It hasn't, really ever been real high. But if you go back to like May 4th,
Hmm.
um, it was at 11.29. Go back even
Hmm.
a little bit more before that to April 29th. It was at 11.26. Then you get that big pop. May 8th goes all the way up to 13.65, kind of plateaued, around $13 at 12.96 right now.
Hmm.
Um, I think that's exactly right. This is not financial advice, but I completely agree with you, John. Like, I feel
Hmm.
like there's probably a large investor group, big, I don't
Hmm.
know, hedge fund or big
Mm-hmm.
people people investing into this, that the collab kind of pushed everything past the finish line. You get
Yeah.
Piguet to come in, it's seen as more luxury. Then
Mm-hmm.
people are now thinking in the long term, oh, Swatch isn't a $13, you're buying a $13 stock at the moment, that's really a $30-$50 stock, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And of course it'll drop like a dime after they get to the top, and then everybody's going to
Mm-hmm.
sell off and make theirs. And then people that kind of herded into this,
Yeah.
we'll probably get stuck with it. But hopefully that's not the only driving force.
Hopefully.
Hopefully there's future collabs along the way. But it's a
Yeah.
great point. It
Yeah.
just, it kind of came out of nowhere. And let's see, like, if other collabs are going to come along. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like when it comes to watches, I don't know in the past, like, it's something I'd enjoy getting into if I had, a few extra bucks, in the future to drop on watches, because I know that they could be very, very good investments, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and all through COVID, I was on Watch Talk. Like there's so many like resale things, and I'm like, dude, watches are sick.
Yeah.
But I feel like you have traditional brands like Rolex. I don't know how much collabing they do because they have such a genuine classic brand.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's so tough. It's like trying to collab with like Tiffany or Louis
Yeah.
Vuitton, all these, really
Mm-hmm.
nice high end brands that are
Mm-hmm.
classic. And it's probably really hard to get into that. So, yeah, this Piguet collab, Swatch certainly came up with
Mm-hmm.
that. Let's see where the wristwatch portion of this goes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just the resale stuff is crazy. I know I
Yeah.
messaged the group chat this weekend. My wife Jen had me in line at
Oh.
8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning at Five Below for
Yeah.
these Nito drops, or I guess it was. I guess they
The
had Nitos, but it was the
the
can't even think of
the
it.
buns. The
Yes,
the steamed
yes.
bun one, or the dumplings.
The
The
dumplings,
dumplings.
correct.
Yeah.
The dumplings, yes. And then you get a chance at $1,000 shopping spree if you get the golden. We didn't pull any, but at least they got the kiddos got their dumplings. And then they came up, like, they have like this popsicle one now. They have this giant banana that looks hilarious for funny reasons. There's like these rubber duck looking ones that we have. They're all over my house. I'm looking at them right now. It's everywhere.
Do you guys have the butter one? I've seen a butter one, a butter
Have
stick.
not. I've seen the sliced cheese. Kim bought a few. My sister-in-law bought a few. And she had like sliced cheese, I think. There's the ducks. There's so many. But the thing, so I actually talked with sorry, this is going to turn into a big ramble sesh for me. We were in Five Below, but we've been looking for those Nito toys, and the Nitos have been out forever. Of course, they've caught fire, and everybody wants a Nito. It's just kind of the trend of things since COVID. I feel like people catch on. But they were only $1 a piece, but there's no limits. So people were like emptying the entire thing into their shopping carts, going up. We were like 60th in line out of 200 plus. We had a decent spot, but just watching them scan all of them out, we're like, damn, I hope there's one. But dude, no, they were wiped clean. And I asked the employee, I said, hey, why don't you guys limit the amount people can get of even the dollar ones? And then they're like, oh, well, it's only $1. Like, the ones that we do limit are the bigger size ones. And I said, well, you guys are kind of promoting scalping by doing that, because these people are buying the dollar ones and selling them for 20, because the bigger Nitos, I think, are going way more than that.
Yeah.
And just his explanation to me was like, I know he's probably not a shot caller, but it's like, dude, like, your explanation was like too corporate for me. Like, I'm like, dude, you can't tell me that's not promoting scalping. Props to the people that got there early and reap the rewards, but I don't know. Scalpers just, it's tough. It's a tough look.
Yeah. The scalping game, we've talked about this before. I think we've talked about it with Daniel and Fidel. It's just so outrageous. And we talk about it with like concerts, this ticket scalping. Like, why this became such a trend, we could maybe blame COVID. COVID could be a part of it, because I don't think it ever happened at this extent since COVID. and it's also a social media thing because, like I say, people could say, we're sort of jumping on a trend with podcasting. Like I said, the one thing I will say with us, we've been consistent. We're going on a year and a half. We haven't given up after
Yep.
6 months. Whereas TikToks, you can see everything on how to scalp, how to get these how to get these boxes, Anitos, cards, concert tickets, and the bots that they create nowadays to get it too. Like, it's insane. And for me, like I say, I enjoy card collecting. I haven't done it in quite a bit. I'll buy a pack here and there, but I do it because I enjoy the rip. I enjoy ripping.
Mhm.
That's my enjoyment. I don't. I'm not there. Like, I'll sell some of my cards eventually because I'm like, well, I got way too many. I need to unload, and whatever funds I get, either I pay some bills off, or I'm like, I'm gonna go buy another pack, and rip. But I enjoy the rip, getting those cards. As I say, my best rip, a 101 gold optic uh, Pepe soccer card, 101, man.
Oof, that's
And then,
crazy.
I also got a David Ortiz 1 of 1 Aoki collab, um, gold
Whoa,
frosting. Still got that one in my collection. Big Papi.
damn, hell yeah.
So like I say, a 101, those when you hit those type of cards, it makes the game so much fun. Like I say, so these
Mhm.
scalpers taking that away, having us pay 5 times the price, you guys suck. Straight up, you guys suck. I think we've talked about it. The one way to stop scalpers is just stop buying it, but I don't think it'll ever stop. There's
Mhm.
always going to be people that want it. People want to get it for their kids because their kids really want it. So, um, crazy game of scalping. But I was going to ask you because you mentioned with the Swatch, you saw the lawn chairs. I've seen a lot of videos of people, at like Best Buy leaving lawn chairs and calling it their seats, but they're not even sitting there. What would you say? Is that okay? Or if you're not, if your ass is not in that lawn chair, you ain't got a seat saved. I'm throwing all those lawn chairs out.
Hell yeah. I'm taking a dump on them and throwing them into the parking lot. Not that bad. No, but that's like the worst of the worst right there. Like, if you're doing
Hmm.
that, that is just that's noob tubing in Call of Duty. Like, that
Hmm.
is just the
Yeah.
most ridiculous thing of all time. That is
Hmm.
cherry picks of all cherry pick. Nobody should honor that. Anybody could go out and put a lawn chair there and act like you're there all the time. I
Hmm.
cannot stand that. And I also cannot stand the people that, try to buy their way to the front of the line, or they try to, cut in at the last minute and act like they
Hmm.
were there, or invite a big posse of people that, join in with
Hmm.
them. And it's like, dude, no, you weren't waiting. One thing I did appreciate that Five Below in particular did was they handed out tickets to everybody,
Hmm.
at a certain point. I think it was an hour before they did it. And so you had a little bit less of a chance of people like trying to cherry pick somebody
Hmm.
else's spot in the
Yeah.
line, which I appreciated. But yeah, no, that's the worst. That's not a spot in line. Throw it to the side. You gotta be there. You
Hmm.
gotta, wear a diaper. I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
know.
I say, yeah. I see all those videos of people. I think I saw a video of like employees. I think it was at a Best Buy. They were picking up all the chairs. Like, if nobody was sitting on it, they just picked it up and put it in the back of a truck,
Solid.
and I think they threw them away. I'm like, that's the way it is. It's like, if you're gonna be playing that scalping game trying to get these, don't leave a lawn chair. Sit your ass down there and wait. If you're not
Mhm.
gonna sit your ass down there, go to the back of the line. Like, it's insane seeing that.
That's exactly right. No, I feel the same way, and I feel the same way about pulling cards. I actually kind of, dude, I gotta limit myself, but I kind of got back into it after pulling some NFL cards. I got a lot of Jackson Dart in the pack I pulled, and that
Okay.
kind of got me hyped. So, and a lot of the cards I pulled, if I go and get them graded, could be a solid value. So, kind of cued me that, I know that there's some sports card shops out there that, will send your cards into grading for you.
Hmm.
I think I'm going to pursue that. And then, trade shows. That's another thing I thought about.
Hmm.
Talked about it with Rob over this past week.
Hmm.
John, of course, if you want to try to go up to a trade show, we were kind of talking about
Yeah.
going to one. I think it would be fun. Kind of vlog it a bit. Look for trades, buying, miscellaneous
Hmm.
card packs, whatever. I think it would be a ton of fun. So,
It would be.
it's a big market for it, and I think a lot of the people at the trade shows are the ones that, aren't as much scalpers as they are, in it for the fun part of it.
Hmm. Yeah, you'll see which ones are actually in it for the hobby, in it for the love of the cards, trading, sports cards, Pokemon cards, and
Yep.
then you'll see the ones that are just about the money. Like I say, there's always a few. I follow quite a few TikTokers that are. I feel like they try to sell a lot of the cards, but they're also part of the hobby. They love the hobby.
Mhm.
There's this one that like limits how many cards he'll sell to like a person, for
Oh,
one show, so they don't buy out the entire table. I think he had like a bunch of kabooms, and a guy wanted to like buy out all the kabooms, but he's like, no, I'm only gonna let you buy a certain amount because he wants to save some for other people that might want to actually collect the kabooms and not just hold them and then resell them in like 5 years as
yep.
they continue going up. So, shout out to those resellers. Props to our buddies Daniel Fidel. I think they're
Mhm.
two legit, card fans, card collectors, and do it the right way.
Absolutely. Yeah, no doubt. That's where a lot of my questions go, is to both of them, trying to figure it out. Obviously,
Hmm.
you have your knowledge too. But it's fun. The people we know are in it for that, trading cards. We did it since,
Hmm.
we were kiddos.
Yeah.
It's a fun hobby when you make it one. Just don't be a scalper. It's not a good look.
Yeah.
I need to get that mug made
Nah.
out from that photo last week, John, of what does it say, like eat shit scalpers or something like
I,
that? It
uh,
was hilarious.
that was AI that said that to you guys. All right, even though I agree with it, I don't know. I honestly didn't see it when I created that photo with
Me
Chat
neither, not until he
GPT to
pointed it
help me.
out.
Yeah.
It was such a
So,
good touch.
but yeah, that's the Monopoly Man trend, and just a lot of other trends. I'm gonna send you one hot take of the summer, Tim. See if you could defend it.
Love it. Love it.
I don't know if you will.
Yeah, no, this is going to be easy for me, actually. Hot take of the
Uh,
summer: ice cream cake is overrated.
get
Well,
out
to
of
an
here. Nah.
extent, it'll be easy. Yeah, yeah, unreal.
Get
What a
out of
jerk.
here.
So, you think I'm okay to throw some brands out there, because this is kind of a brand
Okay.
ordeal to an extent.
Okay.
Um, God, I sound so fucking fat. So it's ice cream cake. It depends where you buy it, and I'll tell you
Okay.
why. You get store bought, not going to be too good. Not going to be too good. Cake is an afterthought. They focus more on the ice cream because they put it in the
Hmm.
freezer, of course. The only way to keep ice cream cake,
Hmm.
but it gets rock hard. It ruins the cake batter, the cake fluffiness. It feels like you're eating a brick over some
Hmm.
slushy mortar. If that's, I don't even know if that's correct terms, but it's like, it just doesn't, it doesn't sit well. It can taste dry. Not a fan of that. It's always fun. They look super cool, but I will give a shout out to this brand, Cold Stone. Phenomenal job on the ice cream cakes.
Okay.
But this is take of the summer. Summer's hot. You're going to go have a birthday party in the park. Where are you going to put that cake? Where are you going to put that ice cream cake, John? You can put it in a cooler for a bit. Cooler gets hot. Ice cream melts.
Hmm.
Cake ruined. If you have a ruined ice cream cake, you're going to have like cake with milk. It's going to taste,
You're gonna have soup. You're gonna have
we're
soup.
going to have soup. We're going to have
So
some
you're gonna have
cake
soup.
soup. You have your edible form with the liquid.
Go back to that debate.
Yes. Hot or cold doesn't fucking matter. So, it's a disaster waiting to happen. You have to have, and just, when you're thinking of cake, that's just an extra step. You already put a lot of thought into the cake, the design, the theme, and then just, if you can't store it correctly, it's like, shit, what am I going to do with this ice cream cake? If you have it at a park, it's like,
Hmm.
dude, that sucks. Shouldn't have done ice cream cake, bud. That's what I'm going to
Mhm.
say. Just gone for traditional cake. So that's where, take of the summer becomes an issue. And like I said, depending on which one you buy, it's going to be rock hard. And
Mhm.
it's just because you have to keep, that's the problem, John. You're baking a part of it, but then the other part has to freeze. So it's like, dude, like you're stacking the two. Of course, you're gonna have to side with the one that freezes. So you're gonna
Mhm.
freeze the cake batter, it just becomes hard. Am I going to chip a tooth on it eventually? Maybe. And
I
then
feel
don't
like you
get me
might.
started. Yeah, you might, right? And then don't get me started with the ones with the ice cream cone on top, the old school kind. Like, you
You
got
just
something
scoop
like
it. You scoop it, and
you scoop it, but how's that cone going to taste? Probably not too good because it's rock hard. And then you let that thaw out. Say you let it thaw out a bit, then it's going to become soggy. A soggy cone with no crunch, crap. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. And then big Hispanic culture thing is smashing somebody's head into the cake. You're a rock hard ice cream cake, you're going to get a concussion. God forbid it has the cone. Jen that did that to her cousin one year and it ended up giving a
oh,
black eye.
oh man.
Crazy story there. But it happens. You're thinking about it, you
Hmm.
don't think about that. Brutal. It's like concrete.
Yeah.
That's my
Should they have should there be a disclaimer like
yeah.
ice cream cake? Please do not smash someone's face into it. Probably, huh?
Yes, let it thaw 15 minutes, then try. Give a timetable depending on the elements.
Yeah. So stick a toothpick. See how far it goes. It has to go in halfway.
Yeah, yeah. Smash your face
Okay.
into soup. That's what it turns into.
You convinced me a little bit, Tim, but it's still
Okay.
blasphemous take from you.
Ah,
Ice cream cake is some of the best cake.
yep.
You might not let it thaw out much. You got to let it thaw
Ah,
out a little bit.
yep.
Um, it's tasty, delicious. But I think with you talking, it made me think about it. It was a trend, just like we
Okay.
talked about a lot of trends.
Yep.
I think when it first came out, I don't know who was the first one that came out. Baskin Robbins maybe did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna
They're,
attribute Baskin Robbins.
they're probably the original creators of it. I think it's what everybody was talking about. Ice cream cake, like nobody knew what it was. It's like, what are you talking about, really? An
Mhm,
ice cream cake, like two worlds, cake and ice cream together, and
mhm.
sounds delicious, and it was delicious. I think when we were younger, our palates were still very developing. We're not as unique as we are now. Where
Mhm.
we taste a lot more. Um, so I see it as a trend. I don't see it as much anymore. I see a lot of different things. The red velvet. Don't get me started,
Yep.
red velvet. I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's
Yep.
okay, in moderation, but not for
Mhm.
an entire cake. Um, but yeah, still think it's a little blasphemous, Tim.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
I see your point a little bit.
what's your go-to brand for ice cream cake?
I'll be honest. Craze. I think that's what it's called. Is it
Oh.
Craze the one that's Star brand? I know you
Oh, it
talk
is
smack
store
about
brand.
it.
I talk a lot of shit about that
But Craze, man, is the one I would get.
one.
Craze.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
just affordable. Like Baskin Robbins
That's
is
true.
expensive. Cold Stone's pretty pricey ice cream cakes,
Yep. So
but
this,
they're probably really good.
Chad, I'm gonna put you on blast with this one because
Yeah.
a lot of people do this. A lot of people do this. Have you ever bought an ice cream cake and it's not your birthday?
No,
Ah, okay.
I
I don't think
haven't.
I have either. I don't think I have either. I would do it at Cold Stone though. I'm a big fan of the Cold Stone ice cream cakes. I think they do it
Okay.
right. They do it right because I think the consistency of their ice cream is legit,
Hmm.
and their number one flavor that I like is the cake batter one. Mix the two
Hmm.
together. Yeah, I don't know, but if I were to do it, I think I would go full design. I think I would go full design. Just get me something crazy. you know,
It
yeah.
would be.
Put freaking
Yeah.
Godzilla on it. My son would have a blast with that too. Would be phenomenal. Just be like, he'd be like, "Whose birthday is it?" All of ours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole family
Yeah.
thing.
It could be. No, yeah, I've never have bought myself an ice cream cake when it hasn't been my birthday.
Okay,
Honestly, I don't think I've ever bought an ice cream cake. It's always just been bought for me, or I eat it at other people's parties.
gotcha.
You know,
Flavor
when
combo.
there's ice, huh?
Go for it. Finish your statement. I'll ask
Uh,
my question after that.
I was gonna say, when there's ice cream cake, I normally
Mhm.
don't have cake. I'm not the biggest fan of cake. There's always a few I will have a few pieces. When
Yep.
there's an ice cream cake, give me half of it. I'll finish half of it. That's how
Yeah.
fat I am.
Damn,
I'll
that's
finish half
solid.
that cake by myself.
No, they're pretty thin. It's like one layer each, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get store
Yeah.
bought brand, it's Ice cream top, cake bottom, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I think there is, but I think it's like thinner layers. It's not that thick of
Uh,
a um, cake, like actual cake. So it's not bad, but it's like, you know how you cut the pieces. It should be even. Everybody gets very small, thin pieces. I give myself a nice little, a
yeah.
big, 180-degree piece.
Oh no, who's cutting this giant rectangle?
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah.
Can't blame you, John. It's solid approach to it. Flavor combo preference?
um, White cake with I'm a cookies and cream guy. That's my
Yeah,
go-to.
that's solid. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like sometimes though, because my thing is with the cookies and cream thing here, I'm gonna go back to the store bought band thing. I feel like the cookie portion of that, of course, is supposed to portray, an Oreo.
Hmm.
The Oreo ends up tasting like cake as well. Not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a
Yeah.
fan of
Every
that.
now and then, depending on it could be on how long it's frozen. It might have some freezer burn on it already. Gives
Yep.
it that little extra, stale taste. So,
Okay.
yeah, it could be it. But honestly, when it comes to ice cream cake, I'll eat anything other than mint. I don't know why mint's still just that one flavor I cannot touch.
A lot of people despise that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like mint is for brushing your teeth.
Yeah.
I think that's how it's seen.
Uh,
Yeah, hey, I appreciate the take, but you tell me, John, is that cooler keeping it cold enough for hours on end in the summer take at a park when it's 95 degrees outside?
Depends what kind of cooler you have.
Yeti would hold
Yeah,
it
yeah,
over
yeah,
maybe.
yeah.
Shout out
Yeti,
Yeti, want
Yeti
to
could
sponsor us?
maybe, yeah. Yeti could probably hold it over.
Mm-hmm.
The Hydro Flask coolers
True.
maybe could hold it over. Those Coleman ones. I don't know about those Coleman ones.
Yeah.
The normal ones you see at those barbecues and parties at the park. It might be
Yep.
hard. I think you have to probably put some dry ice to make it last.
For sure. For sure. Let's just say, John, worst case scenario here, somebody does put it in a Coleman cooler. It begins to melt a bit,
Mhm.
and they go and they cut it. It is watery. It starts to run off, the tray.
Mhm.
Everybody's like, oh, everybody's like, oh no. Do you still eat it?
No, I'm gonna go buy myself an ice cream cake and say it was from the party.
Yeah, there you
That's the
go.
only time I'll probably buy it for myself because I was probably tempting wanting that ice cream cake,
Yeah.
and I'm very disappointed that it's water. And I'm not at the hot park for a party wanting to eat soup,
That's
cold
solid
soup.
approach. You get in your car,
So
you're like, mother.
yeah,
Sorry.
I'm gonna go to Ralph's or whatever and just get myself a small one and just eat that all day and just say it's part of the party. It's like, oh, this is my to go
Yep.
from the party.
Solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Get what's yours, John. Get what you
Yeah.
went there and what you deserve.
Yeah.
Solid approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go. There's your argument, people. It is very heated. I see the AI summary here. A heated debate whether ice cream cake is overrated. I say it's overrated. John says pretty much it's underrated.
It's underrated.
Yeah.
I wonder. Yeah, well, we'll see what others say once we put this out. If you guys are listening, let us know in
Yep.
the comments. Is it underrated? Is it overrated? What do you think? And will Coleman cooler keep it cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Rank your coolers down below
Yeah.
as well.
Yes.
And then maybe there's an ice cream cake commission of the United States that will then go ahead and throw out the first pitch of a baseball game somewhere around the United States.
Let's talk about that really quick.
Yeah. Dude.
How you brought that up last week? Just looking it up out of a whim, out of a crazy conversation we just decided to have. It wasn't even part of the topic. The hot dogs weren't even part of a topic. And then 3-4 days later, this guy's just throwing out the first pitch.
Dude.
Who knew about that commission? Nobody did.
Nobody at all. Like their website, shout out Hot Dog and Sausage Commission of the United States of America. Great entity. Love the tour in DC one day. We'll tag you again. But if you go on their website, John, I surfed through that bad boy. It's from 1995. They still update it. I think their most recent article was in April. That bad boy is like, you're taking a step back in time, which I really appreciate because their focus is on the dogs more than the website.
Yeah. Which shows it's a legit organization. But man, whoever listened to us, what team was it that did it?
Nationals.
The Nationals. Okay, Washington D.C. their headquarters. But Nationals have had so many years at that stadium to do that. Someone on that national team working there heard us, saw that they were in DC, and they're like, we got to bring these guys out.
Unreal.
Give us some credit, but yeah, it's still crazy how we've never heard of it. We just decided to talk about it for a bit, and all of a sudden this guy's just throwing out their first pitch. Small world.
Unreal for us. That timing, I just needle in the haystack. Like, that is outrageous. And when I saw that, I was just in shock, and I sent it to you right away. And I was laughing my ass off. And I want to buy those hats for us. I'm going to find it. Bad day to be a hot dog. And it's like, I guarantee you the Nationals had 25,000 of those bad boys made up, and they're like, what the fuck are we going to do with this? Oh, Banter on the Rocks just talked about National Hot Dog and Sausage Commission. Let's get that guy in there. Gonna take a big old bite out of one. It's insane. The correspondence of all of that. But I will say the Prez who took that bite, phenomenal bite. I did see that they have a video on hot dog etiquette, glizzy eating etiquette.
Okay.
Check it out. Good stuff. Tour. Love to do it one day.
Yeah, no, for sure. If you're ever out here in SoCal, let us know. Come sit down with us. We want to talk about this, your council, because we are very intrigued. We are foodies. We love good ballpark dogs. And even like Polish dogs, like I said, we talk about Costco hot dogs all the time. They're part of that commish because they represent the hot dogs and sausages of the world.
Absolutely. We'll bring, maybe for that episode, we'll cook a few dozen dogs, and then we'll just keep eating them throughout. We'll have you on for a couple hours. We'll talk all about hot dogs. We'll just keep going through them, and then we'll go over etiquette. We'll go over toppings. We'll do it all. Yeah. I promise.
But yeah, no, crazy coincidence that happens. I think it was the day we posted our video, right? Yeah. Wednesday, or was it Thursday?
I think one of those days. No. I think that was a Saturday game or Friday.
Oh, was it Saturday?
Yeah,
Friday game. Okay, so our video was out already a few days. So
something like that.
I don't know if you guys are watching us. Like, just throw some credit. Like, hey, we're not asking for much. Just credit. Give us some kudos for bringing that up.
Tour, interview, anything. Yeah. Get the Prez on. I think his name is Eric. No, for sure. I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Shout out Hot Dog Sausage Council. Good stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, those are our takes for this week. Agree or disagree? Always drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear where you stand with this week's banter takes and our hot summer take. But we'll go into NBA. Some NBA talk. OKC Spurs game 1 today. Great game. Was watching it. Spurs came out with the win. Wemby killed it, man. That guy's a beast. Do it all. Career game. It's gonna go 7, I think, depending on how this next game goes. Shea, bad game for him. I think he only had like 20-something points, but poor shooting. Didn't get to the free throw much, and when he doesn't get through the free throw much, I don't think they win. But yeah, I'm excited to see this series. I think out of the 2 series that we have left.
Absolutely. Yeah, phenomenal. Wemby showed out 1,000%. He really showed who the real MVP is. And, I think he had over 40 points, over 20 rebounds. Absolutely outrageous. He had an aura showing at the end of it, put his hands on his waist and looked like freaking Superman towards his bench at the end of double OT. You mentioned it. Shea doesn't get to the free throw line at least 20 times. It's going to be a problem. because he hasn't been shooting that great. Throughout a lot of his career, he has these games like this, and he just relays on getting to the line after a while. I think the main thing that probably held him in this game is Caruso going off and getting over 30 for the game. He shot really well from three. I think he had 8 threes altogether. Chet was non-existent. He had one decent block on Wemby. Outside of that, he's held to under 10 points. Wemby absolutely owns Chet. And I think that's what Wemby, it's amazing. Him being able to
fueling him.
It's absolutely feeling him, and he doesn't live it down. He's old school mentality, and he's around a bunch of old school guys. Tim Duncan, Pop, is a big advocate of his. We've seen Robinson show up. He has all these, old timers of the NBA bringing that. He already has it in him. The Spurs were a perfect landing spot for him. So love to see it. And I made a vow, John, with Shea winning the MVP award. I think throughout the rest of the playoffs, I'm going to show up with a real MVP jersey. And today I'm wearing Shaq's LA split jersey. Real MVP in my eyes. He won in the year 2000. Has been MVP of the NBA Finals 3-time. He's a real MVP. SGA. I don't think so, bud. Sorry.
No. How do you feel about your guy George Kittle supporting OKC?
That's brutal. I didn't even see that, but that's brutal. I don't like that. Put me in a bad mood.
Sorry. You might have seen it.
What is this? That's why he plays football. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
He's in the wrong city right now. He's like, I thought this was thought this was those Golden State Warriors.
What is this trash? Just terrible. I'm looking that up right now. I'm pretty mad at George right now.
I think I heard during because I was watching, I think more the fourth quarters when I had a chance to. I think he went to school somewhere in Oklahoma. I think high school. So, but it's like, it's not even an original Oklahoma team. They're Seattle, right?
They're a Seattle team. Yeah, this OKC, you get secondhand sloppy seconds. Real Seattle's coming back. You guys are reaping the reward that Seattle made. Yep. Found a Reddit page here. Love George Kittle, but he has let me down cheering on the Thunder. They are unbearable to watch. I agree with.
Is that your burner account? You're like, I forgot I posted that.
I couldn't have said it better in 2 sentences. This is phenomenal. He says OKC's unbearable to watch, and he's disappointed in George Kittle. George Kittle, love you. You're great. But this isn't it. This is not it. If the Warriors aren't there, you're just rooting for a player. I don't know. Anybody but OKC would be pretty cool. Guess he's from there, like you said, high school. I just don't care. I don't. I think you let that go. You think twice.
I'm trying to think. When he was in high school, was OKC even there?
No.
Right?
No.
So it's like,
were they? How old is George? I think he's younger than me.
Yeah. But it's like when he was in high school, well, I think they were probably starting out KD era, but he's like KD's age. And KD started in Seattle, right?
Yes. Yeah, KD played a couple seasons in Seattle. Then they transitioned over to OKC. So he was there like, he's a year younger than me. Year and a half. So he was there like 2010. What did OKC Thunder? Yeah, they were probably there in like the late 2000s, right? 09 is probably when they went over there. Big mistake. Sorry, OKC. I'm happy you guys got a team. It just happens to be the Thunder, who I just don't like. We don't like as a pod. Anywho, I just don't like it. That just put a big damper on my feelings right now, John.
MVP Shea, it was one of the talking points. Saw he won. We could talk a little bit about Shams. Spoiler of it, but big thing for me. I don't think he should have won. I think it should have gone to Luca or someone else. Stat wise, he wasn't even top in most of the player stats. People say his clutch stats were the best, but I'm like, I don't see it. You know, Luca did a lot better. Luca had a phenomenal season and got 0 votes. I think zero first place votes. It's like this is the NBA sending an agenda, sending a narrative that it's Shea's league, and flopping, foul baiting is a thing, and it's just a disgrace to the NBA.
Yeah. No, that's an absolute travesty that Luca didn't get a single first place vote. Wemby only ended up with 5. Jokic only ended up with 10. And then we're going to gift SGA an MVP. I think it's just ridiculous. But you know what? Hey, the NBA is laying their groundwork for being the most unbearable sports watch of all time, and they're just leaning into it at this point by
Mm-hmm.
just letting this happen.
Mm-hmm.
Coinciding that with Shams dropping this news prematurely and before an actual talk show does. Shams, honestly, this is a big stay in your lane moment where like drop trade news, free agency, injury news, any of
Mm-hmm.
that. But awards, you do an NBA insider doing that ruins the entire award even more.
Mm-hmm.
It's literally the cherry on top for an abysmal NBA season. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just he's overstepped his bounds. I don't think Woj ever did anything like that.
No.
And honestly, at this point, um, what's your problem, Shams? it's it's just like I it's like an attention thing. Like at that
Mm-hmm.
point, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think for him it's trying to be first, but it's like this isn't something to be first at. It doesn't
Yep.
matter who's first to announce it. Let Amazon announce it the way they had it planned. Don't spoil it because honestly, could this hurt? I'm going to say yes, but I think this could hurt his insider connects moving forward. He may not be, the future Shams. Either Woj is going to come back and start dropping Woj bombs again, or
Mm-hmm.
there's going to be someone new that the NBA is going to go to, be like, hey, you're the go-to guy now. Break the news when we tell you to, and don't break what you're not supposed to, and wait till it's just announced.
Absolutely. And I think that's a big problem with like NBA, NFL, MLB insiders these days is like their desperation to break the news. Like there's no way Shams had that information for more than 10 minutes because he could not hold it in. Like it's just like I'm sure it
Mm-hmm.
was just oozing out of him and he just had it written up and then he just hit post and he was like F it. And just kind of went for it because
Mm-hmm.
Adam Schefter, I feel like at times is a lot more professional than that. I don't think he's dropping
Mm-hmm.
news about that, but other times Adam Schefter goes on major talk shows and he's staring down at his phone the whole time. It just
Mm-hmm.
it's like a lot of these insiders have gotten to a point where it's like dude like that's why people don't tune into these shows anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
and this is honestly probably going to hurt like the NBA's chances of Amazon probably wanting to do this next year, right?
Mm-hmm. It could. It could. Like I say, I think that's why Sham's reputation is gonna take a big hit. Some of the people he would go for the inside info may not reach out to him anymore. Like I say, they may push
Mm-hmm.
someone else. They're gonna bring someone else new to do all the news breaking stuff. It used to be Woj. Woj was on his way out. Shams came in. He was gonna take over. Ever since Shams took over, I don't think many people have been too much of a fan. So I think this is a good way for them to move on to someone better.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think that I think it's just lame. It's like, what's the point of a show if you're just going to drop these like
Hmm.
little snippets of things?
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it hurts his chances because who's going to trust him in the future? Maybe he'll drop a source one day and that'll ruin
Hmm.
even more. make that person lose their job possibly.
Yeah.
Rather lame. Blake Griffin kind of had a funny jab at it. I
Yeah.
see Malika Andrews fires a shot back at Blake Griffin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Networks protecting networks probably is what that's turning into.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, cherry on top for me as far as SGA winning it. I don't know. Fake MVP, didn't deserve it. Luka,
Yeah.
Jokic, or Wemby deserved it more, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they were better winners, especially with all their stats and all that. So, but yeah, and then last thing, NBA. Tomorrow's game, Knicks versus Cavs. Excited to see that. Cavs pulling it off. Detroit, man, Cade Cunningham. Hopefully they get him some support because man, he can't do it himself. Duran, no show during the playoffs. I know he's so young, but man, this guy hasn't performed in the must needed moments. So Cavs. Well, we'll see. Could this be James Harden finally going to the finals and maybe having a chance? I don't know. I think the only team from the East that takes out the West is the Knicks, from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, no, it's that last game for Detroit, that game 7 was absolutely terrible. I agree with you. Kid Cunningham needs extra support. Duran played himself out of millions and millions of dollars after this playoff. All NBA player. You expect a whole lot more. I know people are making the argument, oh, he's going up against Mobley or, Jared Allen. It's like, dude, tough freaking luck. Like, you're all NBA. Like, if you want to prove that you deserve millions, then you go up against those guys and you freaking manhandle them. He didn't do any of that. And he got outplayed. I think in fourth quarters of a lot of the games, they're playing backup bigs in his place. It's like, dude, nah, you're nothing more than a role player is what you deserve pay after this. Cade clearly cleared the way and led them this far. That team has a bright future. I think Thompson played very well as Asar Thompson. Asar, right? Or is it? Yeah, because Amon's with Houston.
Yeah, Houston, yeah.
Phenomenal. But yeah, he needs support. Let's see how they draft and kind of draw that up. And then I'll take slightly back, not a whole lot, because James Harden has so much playoff material that we can go off of. But he could prove me wrong, and he's not anymore, bum playoff Harden. And he could be, legitimate this year, given the team around him. But it's going to take a whole lot because that's a very good team. And he has to stay consistent. He can't play like he did early on in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, we'll see if he could show up. New York, it just seems like destiny for them to make it to the finals and cause whatever mayhem to the streets of New York and the streets of the U.S. So yeah, it's going to be an exciting series. I'm excited to see Game 1, sort of see how it goes, because it'll be a precursor of what the entire series will look like. Like I say, OKC, San Antonio, I think that's going to be an amazing series. It could go all 7. Let's see how Game 2 goes, though, because like I say, Game 1, Shea didn't get his fouls, and the trend we've seen, he gets a game that he gets no fouls or barely any. Next game, he's getting 25 plus free throw attempts.
Yeah. Jeez.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I think he's due. Yeah, he's probably going to get that many. Yeah. New York, honestly, I hope they advance, because I think that's the biggest kryptonite, against the possibility of OKC being there. But honestly, I think more than anybody, Wemby's the biggest kryptonite to OKC. Like he said, in his MVP response of, they beat them in the regular season, showed them out numerous times, and here they are. So, but I'm really excited too for this Knicks series. Knicks, incredible team. I think OG's coming back healthy as well, so they'll have that extra piece back. But yeah, most of all, the fans. I think the fans are going to be great content.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So, but that's NBA talk. We'll talk a little MMA. There was the big MMA event on Netflix this past weekend. Within our little group with Armando and Rob, we were discussing it. Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. I think overall that event was successful. I think there was quite a few people watching. I think it brought a lot of eyes. The Diaz fight before the main event, very entertaining. Diaz
Hmm.
got bloodied up. That was good to watch. Franciscus Ngannou, um, the knockout, killer knockout. But the main event, Rousey Carano, um, I called it in the text message group. First round armbar, um, 17 seconds. Little disappointing. Um, I think what we said is they were there for a paycheck and they got paid. I think Gina Carano made about like 1 point something million. Ronda Rousey two. Um, so yeah, overall, like I said, great event, great for the fighters. These fighters getting paid, what they probably would have needed to fight for a few years in the UFC to make.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Nate Diaz fight. Whenever he fights, it's incredibly entertaining. His antics, the build up to it. Seems like he doesn't even try, but somehow he still pulls off a competitive, fight. Once
Mm-hmm.
he's in there, he did get bloodied up. He got knocked around pretty good. Um, I think that this whole kind of event sets up for a decent potential going into the future.
Mm-hmm.
You have some pretty big names going in there. I think you mentioned that McGregor was a possibility, but didn't he just do something with Dana this past week with
Yeah,
the UFC?
yeah. I called, or I didn't call it, but once I saw the announcement for the UFC McGregor versus um, Max Holloway,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, it's trying to one up, Jake Paul and the Netflix fight because McGregor's a big name. People are going to be talking about it a lot. I think the UFC at the White House hype hasn't been really that big. It might get a little bit bigger, but hearing McGregor going to come back, a lot of old school UFC fans are going to want to watch it and pay for it because, like I say, they're a fan of Conor McGregor, his antics, and how crazy he gets in the ring. So, um, like I said, we'll see what Netflix and I always forget what Jake Paul's company is called, but what they do to one up this event.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure he'll have an involvement in the future of some sort. He's certainly flaunting it like he will.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see how that comes to play. The event overall, I agree. It seemed successful. That final fight wasn't great, obviously and
Mm-hmm.
done in record time. Ronda Rousey's fighting, so there's always that
Mm-hmm.
potential given her career. But it does seem like Gina Carano was maybe there for, just collecting that final paycheck. I did
Yeah.
see an article. I don't know if it's true that she maybe lost like close to 100 pounds for the fight,
Mm-hmm.
which is quite remarkable. She looked a whole lot more thin from the first presser till the weigh-ins. So
Yeah.
props to her. She clearly trained a lot, got ready, but collected a paycheck after it all, and they were all paid very well, and very competitive to
Mm-hmm.
that of the UFC. So
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see where it goes. Clearly, Dana feels some type of threat if he's trying to throw out a
Mm-hmm.
big fight, same exact weekend, make that announcement. Yeah, say what you want about um, the Paul brothers, but they do know how to market, and
They do.
yeah, you can't deny it. And
Yeah.
not everybody loves their antics, but here we are talking about them pretty consistently, and then they get a lot of pretty big name for themselves in the events that they host.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, they do pretty well. So, um, but yeah, that's the fight. Like I said, we'll see what they do next. I'm curious if their next event, who they're gonna sign up. Hearing, but I think you mentioned it or someone mentioned it, possible John Jones, but I don't know if Jones is still under UFC contract for like another fight or so. But like I said, it's a big name that could bring a lot of big attention. Um, so we'll sort of see uh, what happens with that. That's a little MMA talk. Like I say, I used to watch it a lot. I haven't watched it as much. It hasn't been as interesting. The pay per views are just getting more expensive. Fighters, I don't know as much. I think I'll watch more highlights than anything.
Yep.
But like I say, with McGregor coming, it might be one I might order, depending on what the fight card looks like.
No doubt. Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with you. Seems like one that would be fun to watch live. Because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, McGregor, again, he brings that entertainment element. And I think at all of the let's see how the pre-fight hype goes too, because he's awfully good at that also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but that's MMA. Next, we'll go into just because of time. We'll go into our movie game. And talk a little bit about movies. So, what we did last year for summer blockbusters, we picked 5 movies, and then we sort of ranked what opening weekend was, and we added the total, see who made the most money based off the 5 movies picked. Um, and we'll do it again this year. You know, there's a lot of big movies. I'll go over the movies. I'll give you a quick synopsis of what I know and what I read off the internet. And this is, I think, pretty much in order of how they're coming out too. So this is going to start this weekend on the 22nd. So the first movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu. So just coming off of the Mandalorian show, um, you know, Baby Yoda, what he was called before people started calling him Grogu. I think Star Wars is really hyped for this movie, hearing a lot of great things about it. I'm curious what it's going to look like and how it's going to expand the Star Wars universe. So, a movie I'm excited to watch.
Yeah,
Anything you
likewise.
want to say about it?
Yeah. No, really liked the show. Really enjoyed it. I know we talked about a lot of those spin-offs previously. That's certainly one that, you know, is my favorite. It's actually one that Jen and I have created, hopefully, some consistent babysitter plans. That way we can go watch it. So it's definitely one that, you know, the hype is there, certainly in our household. Really excited for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. So then the next movie, Backrooms, horror movie. You know, I think I've started putting horror more into this because horror's been a lot popular. But Backrooms about just from what I've seen from previews, I'm not reading the synopsis, but guy finds a back room that leads into infinite more rooms. It's all yellow. He's talking. It looks like a therapist or something, and then she gets stuck, and she goes in, and towards the end of the previews, looks pretty scary. This is a movie I sent you a TikTok today. I want to watch, but I don't know why I'm freaked out about it. Because those back rooms, man, if you go into a room that just looks like that right after the movie theater, I will freak out. I'll probably cry and just curl into a ball and let whatever happen happen.
No, I completely agree. It's just never ending. The fear of what's in the next room, and then, you know, like, you have options and different areas that you can go to, and what option is best is unknown, and it's freaky. It's very ominous, and it feels like a fever dream because it's all we kind of it hits on things that we could have had previous dreams on, and it's like, dang, that's coming to life. But I agree with you. That would be a massive fear.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it'll be a popular movie. The one after that, Scary Movie. Funny movie. I don't know what the synopsis or what this movie will be about, but knowing the Scary Movie franchise, a lot of great laughs, a lot of great parodies of horror movies and just movies in general. And bringing back the original cast from Scary Movie 1 and Scary Movie 2, a majority of them coming back. I think it's gonna be a funny one.
No, that's great. Love that that hype around it. It's hilarious comedy. Are they bringing back the guy with the small hand?
Yep.
Yes, I love that. And, you know, that's certainly a really big Mandela effect for me, because I swear he said, "Hey, take my strong hand." And he says, "Take my small hand," evidently, but I swear he said, "Take my strong hand." But come to find out, he did not say that. But anyways, hilarious, that turkey scene. I that's definitely one I'd want to watch too.
Yeah, so that'll be a good one. After that, Disclosure Day, a Steven Spielberg movie about aliens, UFOs. I'm very curious what this movie is going to be about exactly. I know it's about aliens, UFOs, but how it seems like there might be some sort of like AI technology just from the previews I have seen. Um, I am just so stoked for this. Like I say, Steven Spielberg, his movies are always great. This one looks like it's going to have a twist towards the end, so I think it's going to be a big movie of the summer.
Yes. You just had to say the first name Spielberg and, realize that's probably going to be a great movie. Especially intertwining that with sci-fi aliens. I think that could be, a lot of hype and deservedly so. Um, Dude, another great film I'd want to tune into.
Yeah, yeah. Then we have Toy Story 5.
Ooh.
Um, this one, I think, very popular movie. Animation um, includes technology now, having a tablet as the villain of the movie. Um, just, like I said, bringing back the original voices. So I think this is just going to hit a lot of feelings for a lot of age ranges. So, you know, big movie.
Yes, yeah, it's one that all of us parents now grew up on these films, so it kind of hits home, and then of course hits home in a big way where, as you mentioned, tablet becomes the villain. It seems to be the villain to a lot of both parents trying to raise their kids these days and keeping them away from
Yeah,
that as much as possible. It's
yeah,
tough to do with where tech is at, but yeah, it's
yeah.
gonna be a fun one.
I'm
Classic.
curious how it's gonna go. So it'll be good. Next one, Supergirl. James Gunn, DC Studios, DC trying to make their comeback, compete with Marvel. I think Supergirl, there's a lot of hype with this. It's very exciting. Jason Momoa is in it as well. The villains, Crypto the dog from the Superman movie that came out last summer that we discussed is in this one as well. So I just think the name wise, DC Studios will be popular.
For sure. Yeah, haven't seen a whole lot on this yet. Just Momoa, it looks like he's in it. So, yeah, could draw some interest. Like you said, DC, James Gunn having a part of it. Yeah, going to be a lot of hype around it. Hopefully, it turns out to be a good film.
Yeah. Next one, Jackass, Best and Last. Seems like this is the last Jackass movie. Hearing Bam Margera's in it as well. So, uh, one that I think it's just, I think for the older generation, our age, going to be a classic. One we want to watch just because we grew up to when Jackass first came out, watching it since the beginning.
Absolutely. Yeah, you get the classic cast on there, including Bam Margera. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of hype around it. Anybody who grew up on watching Jackass and all their stunts that they played off, yeah, might be one to tune into, especially with their age now. I we haven't had a film like this in a while, so would be one to tune into for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Next in July, we're going into the last month of us doing this. Minions and Monsters. I put this on the list just because it's another animation. Minions are a very popular one. Despicable Me. They have their own little land in Universal Studios. So Minions, all the kids know the Minions. I think it's going to be a popular movie. Not too sure what it's about. I think I only saw one preview about it, but I can't remember it fully.
For sure. Yeah, let's see how it goes. I haven't seen any ads for it yet, but like you said, it's obviously a really big character these days. All kiddos know what minions are and how fun they are. So, yeah, it could be a good little, nice little summer beat the heat kind of movie.
Yeah, yeah. Then the next one will be Moana, the live action Moana.
Ooh.
Um, just a remake of the last Moana. Like I say, I have my feelings towards this movie. Like I say, don't try to hate on The Rock, but trying to look like Fabio, I think casting could have been a little bit better. But still will be a very popular movie because Moana is a very beloved Disney movie, Disney princess, and I think there's still going to be a lot of people wanting to watch this.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think a lot of people will. It's Disney. It's a classic so far. You have The Rock in there. He brings a lot of people to the theaters for his films. Um, yeah, that hair looks crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, could be a fun one.
Yeah. Next one, I think it's going to be the biggest movie this summer, in my opinion. The Odyssey,
Oh, yeah.
based off the book. Um, Christopher Nolan, amazing cast. Previews are already so awesome. Movie's been sold out, I think, for a year already. Opening day. Um, yeah, no, enough said with that. It's just speaks for itself. Just saying that.
Yeah, yeah. No, the cast alone speaks for itself. We've seen like little hints at what the movie, background to it, the filming that they did. It's going to be insane. It's going to be
Yeah,
a beast of a movie.
yeah, yeah. And then the next one, Motor City. Let me get my little one. This one I've heard a lot about. It has scroll. I had it open. Alan Richson. So that's the guy that had the little motorcycle fiasco a few months ago with the neighbor. Do you remember that one?
Oh
The
yeah,
actor that punched the neighbor. We
you
got
bet.
him, Ben McKenzie. You got Shailene Woodley. What I read in 1970 Detroit, John Miller falls for a local gangster's girl. In retaliation, the gangster intacts a frame job to send the innocent man to prison. Life ruined, Miller plots a revenge campaign against the man who took his girl away. So, been hearing it could be a really good movie, so that's why I added that to the list.
What's that one called
Uh,
again?
Motor City.
Motor City. Nice.
Yeah. So we got that. And then the last movie, we got Spider Man Brand New Day. Spider Man, after the last one with Doctor Strange, everybody forgot him. Um, People are saying that, that this is probably going to be one of the better Spider-Mans. It seems like there's a lot of people coming out into it. So, and it's Marvel, or not fully Marvel. It's Marvel with Sony. So, how this is going to go into what the winter movie of the year is going to be, Avengers. I think we're all stoked about that. So, yeah, Spider-Man, Brand New Day.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, looking forward to it. Already kind of getting a decent amount of hype for it. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we could use Marvel in contrast to that DC that will be released this summer. So
Yeah, yeah. So those are the movies. So there's 12 movies, Tim. One, two, and we'll pick five. So there's going to be two left over. So it gives us just a little bit of options. Is there 12? 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 12. So, because I won last year, I'll give you the option, Tim. Do you want to go first or do you want to go second? And this will be a snake draft. So if you go first, you get the number one pick. You go second,
mm,
you get that pick, and then you get the first in the next round.
oof, that's tough, my friend. I'm gonna take the easy way. I'm gonna go first, John. I want
Okay,
the
go for
Odyssey.
it.
I want the
Odyssey.
Odyssey. Yeah, I want
Okay.
that bad boy. That guy's.
It,
I think it's gonna be a
it,
beast.
it's gonna be a beast. It's gonna be a hard one to beat. Um, okay, so you got the Odyssey. I think my first pick will be Spider Man. I think
Smart.
that's gonna be the big one. This is where it's gonna get tough between two.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Toy Story.
Nice.
Mm.
All right. Then I get two right.
Yep.
I am gonna go the Spielberg Alien movie,
Okay. Disclosure Day.
and then I'm gonna go Mandalorian.
Oh.
I'll go Mandalorian.
Now this is where it's gonna get tough.
Yep.
So I am gonna go Supergirl.
Okay.
I just think the hype for it'll be popular.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to do that. Between a few,
Uh huh.
I
Stuff.
I'm gonna go Scary Movie.
I like it. It was going to be a sleeper
So,
for me at the end.
so you get your last two, and then
All right,
I
I'm
get
gonna
one
go.
more.
I'm gonna go Backrooms. I love that. I love that horror genre right
Mm-hmm.
there. Um, then I'm gonna go Moana. Gonna go Moana. Gonna go with Rock with his long hair. Don't know how it'll do.
No,
We'll see.
like I said, not a. It's Disney, so hey, you can't be disappointed in it.
Yep.
And then at the end, I think it's two animations, but I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go Minions and Monsters. I just think taking kids out, um,
Yep.
it'll make some good money to get me up there because Odyssey is the one I gotta figure out how to take that down. I think Spider Man might be the only one that has a chance, but
Yeah. This could be a good
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah. And the Mandalorian too. I don't know. It's tough.
It is
Totally
tough.
forgot about that one.
It is tough.
Yeah.
Is it my turn now?
No. So
You got one more, right?
we're just doing five.
Oh, 5 each. Got it. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Then we're
So the
leaving
last one.
Jackass and Motor City off.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So like I say, and who knows? They may make more than all our movies put together. We'll see. Imagine.
All the hype.
You never know.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
You never know.
I like our lineup though. I think it's going to be really competitive. Spider-Man's going to do extremely well.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, that's the movie game. Like I said, we'll update it weekly. It's pretty much every week will be a new movie. So we'll update the totals.
Love it.
But yeah, and then I think the last thing, I've talked about it. I don't know why I continue saying on my mind. Obsession. Tim, if you get the chance to watch that movie, you gotta go watch it, man. Watch it in the theater.
Yeah, really, really, really big fan of the director. What's his name?
Curry Barker.
Curry Barker. Phenomenal skit maker. He's absolutely hilarious with a lot of his comedy skits. And I've seen a lot of interviews with him previously and then over this last week, of course, because the movie just released, in how he correlated sketch comedy to creating a horror film. And I think that's fascinating. You can tell how good he is at, the sketch comedy bit and how he made those feel like actual movies or shows. And, the correlation only makes sense that he would do this film so well. I saw a preview to it. I think you sent it to me. The booth scene with the girl, and she's just going crazy. Looks creepy as hell. I got chills watching it. And I take it's a lot of that and more.
It's a lot of that. Like I say, I think, like I say, what I liked about it, like like you mentioned, Curry Barker brings a lot of sketch comedy, a lot of the TikTok, Vine type of videos, and also him making YouTube shorts. He brings a lot of it because like there's a lot of scenes that just seem like they would be like great sketch comedy like segments, but he puts it all into a movie that fits together. There's a lot of laughs, but with the laughs, there's also just a lot of eeriness. I kept on telling Vera, like, we were laughing during the movie because the scenes are funny, but there was just something. And shout out to the actress Indy Navarrete who plays Nikki. She just freaked me the hell out. I was freaked out just by her performance, and I know it was a movie, but still, it was just so crazy. And like I say, it will throw you off and freak. At least for me, it would freak me out. And I thought it was an amazing movie. I know there's a lot of people that didn't like it. I thought it was great. I put it up there with maybe above Weapons, and I know you saw Weapons and you thought that was great.
Wow, that's a big thing from you, John. That's really big for you.
Yeah, and it's also like Indy, the way Amy Madigan got nominated for Ann Gladys and Weapons. If this season's movies aren't as great, I think she'll get a nomination, and I think she has a chance of winning because we've seen horror start making its way into award season. So it's a really great movie. I enjoyed it. I honestly somewhat want to watch it again because it's just an entertaining movie. But yeah, what he made with I think I read a 750K budget, made it 18 million opening weekend.
Wow.
Successful. So, and what Curry Barker is doing, he's already making another movie. He was talking about it a little bit. It's about two paranormal ghost hunters that are like they're not actual ghost hunters. They're sort of like con artists.
Wow.
But then they sort of stumble into an um, actual scary situation. It's called Anything But Ghost. So I think that one's getting pretty much done, and then he's making the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Wow.
and
Wow.
he
So he
says
has
he wants
two.
to go back to the original.
Bright future for him. He's only like what, 25?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
mid
he's
20s,
young.
man. He's got a
Yeah,
big career ahead of him. That's awesome.
yeah.
Love that. And he in other horror movies, I saw another one where, something latches onto somebody in a car, he's driving, and I don't know if you've seen the scenes for it. I forget the name of the horror film. That's another one that gave me chills. Like, he keeps driving through the same road over and over
Oh,
again.
yeah. I was talking with Vera. I think it comes
Yeah.
out either this week or next week. I think it's Passengers or something.
Yes, I think that's it.
Um,
Yep.
but like we see the preview to it and it freaks us out because like now we're living in Ojai and to come. I don't know. Have you been to Ojai before?
Yes, once or twice before. Yep.
Yeah,
And I know it's like
but
a quiet road.
one quiet road, one lane, like one way each way,
Yep.
mountains, and like when we saw that trailer, we're like, that's driving into Ojai. Like
Mm-hmm.
we came back from watching Obsessions because we watched it late at night because we had to put the kiddo down. So I think we saw it at 10, got out of there at like midnight.
Yep.
I freaked out a little bit driving because I was like, oh man, some guy's gonna pop out and I'm just gonna freak the fuck out. He's just gonna be standing on the road looking at me and I'm like,
Yeah.
hell no.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and then, like, it's kind of an old wives' tale of horror where, don't look in your rear view mirror if you're driving alone, because you might pick up somebody. And if that's the case, you
Yeah,
have to like get out of your car and go do something and then go back in
yeah,
later, and the ghost will have left. But man, freaks me out just thinking about that
yeah,
stuff. And yeah, can't
yeah.
blame you for being freaked out by it, John, especially when you live in an area that sets the scene.
Yeah. Oh, it sets the scene perfectly. So, but yeah, like I say, my little review with Obsession. Not trying to spoil it. I hope you get a chance to watch that in theaters, because like I say, it's a great movie to
Yeah.
watch in theaters.
No, I definitely
Um,
want to see it. It looks
but
amazing.
yeah, yeah, it's great. Like I say, it has its funny moments, scary. Um, but yeah, like I say, if you guys haven't watched Obsession, yeah, I recommend a lot of movies. I truly recommend this, even if you're not the biggest horror fan. It's For me, it's a great movie made, and Curry Barker, just like some of these new directors, the Weapons creator, uh, gonna be big horror directors for the future.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, bright future ahead. That film looks amazing. Between that and Mandalorian, then of course the list of summer hits that we just went over.
Hmm.
There's a lot to look forward to this summer again. So,
Yeah,
yeah, stay tuned.
yeah,
Beat the
yeah.
heat.
See, yeah,
Go
it'll be
watch some
good,
movies.
especially if you're in those hot areas. The AC in the theaters it's cranking.
Yes.
They're not going to turn that down for anybody. So yeah, you'll be cool.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I look
Yeah,
forward to it. It's gonna be good.
yeah. But that's today's episode. Thank you everybody for listening, bantering with us today. As always, your support keeps this growing, keeps us going. And as always, do us that solid. Hit that subscribe, hit that follow, hit that bell on YouTube to get the alerts when we throw out new episodes, new segments, new clips. And as always, just jump into the comments. Let us know what you guys think of our banter takes, some of our discussions, and let us know your thoughts.
Absolutely. Yep. Got a lot of good comments from, hot dog is a sandwich from last week, the UFO stuff we talked about. We appreciate each and every one of you who stay tuned, listens on the go, at home, no matter where you're at. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. We're going to be doing this each and every week, as always. And stay tuned for much, much more. Hope you guys have a great week
Yeah,
ahead. Peace.
yeah. See you.